Imagine a nightmare that lingers, even after you wake up. A nightmare so vivid, so real, that it blurs the line between reality and the dream world. This was Jason's reality, a relentless torment that began the moment he closed his eyes and continued to haunt him even in the waking hours. Jason was always a light sleeper, but his nights were growing worse. The once peaceful slumber he cherished had turned into a battleground. Every night he found himself tossing and turning, unable to escape the grip of his own mind. The darkness of his room seemed to close in on him, suffocating and oppressive. Each time he closed his eyes, the same nightmare returned. Whispers, faint but persistent, "You'll never wake up." These words echoed in his mind, a sinister chant that grew louder with each passing night. The whispers were not just sounds. They were a presence, a malevolent force that seemed to seep into his very soul. One night, the whispers grew clear. They were no longer just a background noise. They were distinct, articulate, and terrifying. Jason could hear every word, every inflection, as if the source of the whispers was right beside him, breathing down his neck. The air thickened, suffocating, as Jason stood in an endless void. The darkness was not just an absence of light. It was a tangible entity pressing down on him, making it hard to breathe. He felt as if he was drowning in the blackness, every breath a struggle. Something slithered in the shadows, circling him, but never fully revealing itself. The whispers stopped. The silence was even more terrifying than the whispers. It was a silence filled with anticipation, as if something was about to happen, something dreadful. An ancient, cold voice declared, "You've come too far. Now you're mine." The voice was unlike anything Jason had ever heard. It was ancient, filled with a cold, unfeeling malice. It resonated deep within him, shaking him to his core. He felt a chill run down his spine, his body frozen in fear. Jason panicked, but couldn't wake up. He tried to move, to scream, to do anything to break free from the nightmare, but his body refused to obey. He was trapped, a prisoner in his own mind, unable to escape the terror that surrounded him. Cold, slimy fingers wrapped around his ankle, dragging him into the abyss. The touch was repulsive, sending waves of nausea through him. He could feel the cold, clammy skin, the strength of the grip, pulling him down into the darkness. He struggled, but it was futile. He screamed, but the void mocked him, until the darkness consumed him. His screams echoed in the void, a desperate plea for help that went unanswered. The darkness seemed to laugh at his misery, closing in on him, swallowing him whole. Jason jolted awake, his heart racing, and looked down. His body was drenched in sweat, his heart pounding in his chest. He could still feel the lingering touch of the slimy fingers on his ankle, a reminder of the nightmare that felt all too real. Bruised, bony fingers imprinted on his ankle. The marks were unmistakable, a physical manifestation of the nightmare. He stared at them in disbelief, his mind struggling to comprehend how something from his dreams could leave such a tangible mark on his body. From the corner of his room, the whispers began again. "You'll never wake up." The words sent a shiver down his spine. He turned towards the corner, his eyes wide with fear. The darkness seemed to pulse, alive with the whispers that promised eternal torment. Jason knew that this was not just a nightmare, it was a reality he could not escape.